Absolutely, Mark. Thank you very much. Thank you to HUD and MHI for having me here, hi Sam. So before we start, let's see, what do we see up here? Before we start, I want to talk about some sort of global context. Can we get the screen up? Oops, no, that's, you saw my secret before it's done. Okay, so, so globally, I just thinking about the whole world, you know, this is what's happening in the world of factory-built housing as a percentile of all residential home construction in some of the major cities in the world. So, for example, in Japan, modular, manufactured, panelized, prefab housing accounts for 50% of all of the housing stock in Japan. In Sweden, 25%. Germany, it's 15%. And Australia is at 20% of all residential housing that's being developed currently in the world. By comparison, the United States is at 3%. Of course, that's single family, multifamily, that's all housing in the nation. So we have some very innovative products and very innovative ideas, but we're still lagging a little bit behind in the opportunities. I'm actually an urban designer, an architect, and a developer. I own my own firm, but I work with developers all over the country, all over North America, actually, to help take their visions and their dreams further and get them zoned, approved, and get them built. And a lot of what we're seeing now is a lot more innovative than what historically we came to think or think about when we heard the term manufactured or mobile homes. So some really quick trick questions. These are all of these pictures represent some form of factory-built off-site construction. Can anybody tell which products are maybe not HUD homes, just from the pictures?
Thanks, Lynn.
Not really,
She's
right?
gonna suck till tomorrow now.
So
I'm
there
tired.
you go. So the multifamily
it is so
apartment building
warm. My
that was
gosh.
up on top that would have been a prefabricated panelized house. But the rest that are shown here are all meet HUD code. Here's another slide similarly. And I think the steel probably gives it away, but can you tell what isn't HUD code here? You'd be surprised at some of what is HUD code. So here we go. Right, so that beautiful, gorgeous house in Arizona in the top corner there is actually a HUD home. So we can go a lot further than where we are right now, and I mean, I'm excited to be alive at this time where the opportunities are so great, but there's still a lot more to come. So I've got 4 projects that my firm has designed, and we're talking about the communities now. We're not talking about the homes. We're talking about, you know, larger scale. This one in Minnesota, it's 143 acres. It's a PUD or mixed-use development, and within it, it has single-family, multifamily, including townhouse, walk-up apartment, residential, etc. And not all of the homes in this development are HUD homes, but every single one of them were designed to be factory-built, off-site constructed, which is exciting. And think about that, 143 acres of off-site construction built into one community. So I've just got some pictures to show you what that looks like. And further to that, the developer in this case was, we worked with him to put together a sophisticated model that included land lease, fee simple, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the overall aerial master plan of it. There's commercial, mixed use, and retail up in the front. There's townhouses in the middle, just in front of the creek, and in the back there's multifamily, duplex, and single-family HUD code homes in there. Phenomenal project. He's working on financing right now, and we're excited to see this come out of the ground. These are just some shots of the 3D modeling, the rendering of what the community could look like. On the left, you can see townhouse product, and on the right, you can see single-family houses in a really, really exciting community neighborhood. Another picture, that's 4-story walk-ups with retail on the main floor and townhouse product on the right side. And this is just a view from the back of the community, where you can see a whole bunch of different proposed HUD code homes. I'll go through fairly quickly. This is another project in Florida. This has an equestrian background to the land. It's all single family developed, very high end. The neat thing about this is that the developer is creating a very sophisticated home buying platform. If any of you drives an electric car, an EV, maybe a Tesla, you know how you can go about buying a Tesla. Just imagine going about buying an affordable house in the same way, going online, picking your exterior design, picking your interior finishes, picking your furnishings and everything, and bundling that into one mortgage application, and having the house delivered in a question of weeks or months. So a very sophisticated way to deliver homes, and we're excited to be helping the client out with that project. And those are just some views of the neighborhood. The salmon lanes are actually designated bike lanes for health, exercise, and walkability. Another project out of Minnesota. This is smaller. It's an 83-acre. We call it a missing middle development, and that's for middle-income Americans who need affordable, attainable housing. So this has 3-story walk-up apartment buildings that are modular. It has townhouse product that is either modular or HUD, and it has single and duplex homes that are designed to be HUD homes as well. And in this case, it's all subdivided. It's not a land lease community. The streets are public streets, and the design of this neighborhood was built off of the urban grid of the city. Those are just some more pictures of the project. Phase 1 of this project is currently under development. Very nice communities. This one here is in Texas. It's in Conroe, just outside of Houston. And this project, it's 179 acres, pardon me, of what was really environmentally compromised land. There were some abandoned oil wells and lots of environmental abuse to this property. It was really hard to even sell it. But a developer came along and said, I'm going to make, if I can buy it for an affordable price, I'm going to create some really affordable housing in here. I'm going to deal with all of the environmental conditions and sort of clean up the site and develop something that's worth living in. This initial picture here is actually the community clubhouse. You can see an outdoor pool, a spray pad, a soccer field, and other amenities in and around the clubhouse neighborhood. And further to that, that's kind of the master plan. If you look carefully, you'll be able to identify the multi-section units up in the front by the amenity area, and behind that first roundabout. You can also see the single section homes. Very carefully, you'll see spots like those are spots where there's actually abandoned oil wells that were sort of quarantined off, and we created green space around those so that people wouldn't be exposed to any of the contaminants. But this was a huge success, and there was a huge demand for this project in Houston. So we were excited to put together this master plan. We worked really hard, again, some of the stuff that we could do in increasing the roof pitches and increasing the aesthetic of these HUD homes to make them more like conventional site-built homes. This slide is showing a street with some of the multi-section homes there. And another slide has single sections with that nice big truss in front of the porches, and you can see some amenity spaces adjacent to that. So these are some of the visionary things that developers are trying to put through today with HUD homes and manufactured off-site building construction. It's quite exciting. It's quite attainable. I still believe there's a lot more to be done. Sorry, Erin, I'm getting into your stuff. I still believe there's a lot more opportunities, but my firm has been quite excited to have been part of the success of this industry and moving it forward to this point. I hope that answers your question, Mark.
A very efficient answer to my question. Yes. No, thank you, Emeka. It's exciting to see, the kind of the leading edge of where this industry is going, with the homes, taking the homes that we learned about in the first presentation and putting them into actual practical use in lifestyle communities and planned use developments and those types of things.